Hi guys, my name is Janetta Yusufovich, and for my individual presentation I wanted to actually talk about immigration. I chose this topic for a couple of different reasons. The first reason being that I myself actually moved to the United States when I was 6 years old with my parents, and by age 12 I became a citizen. My move here with my family was completely legal. My parents went through years of interviews, paperwork, all kinds of crazy things before we were approved to move to the United States, and then there was this whole other process before we even came here. Another reason I chose the topic immigration, aside from the fact that it is important to me, is the fact that I think there's a lot of stigma around this topic. In most cases, people are very negative when it comes to the topic of immigration. We kind of tend to be blinded by it. We tend to see one side to the whole thing. However, there's so much more to it than that. A lot of times when you talk to people about immigration, they refer to illegal immigration, and a lot of times they're very focused on Latino people, specifically people from Mexico coming into the United States. I myself am not a supporter of illegal immigration, even though I do support immigration in itself. I just believe that at the end of the day, if one group of people has to follow the rules, then another group has to as well. I don't believe that just because they're right there at the border, or because they can get on a ship and sneak in, or whatever the case may be, that that's right and that we should reward them for it. I think at the end of the day, they need to follow the same rules and policies that other people did in order to get here. I also have realized growing up here that we tend to forget that we're all technically immigrants, unless you're Native American. At some point, somewhere in your family line, somebody did have to move here in order for you to actually be here right now. And I think a lot of that gets forgotten or pushed away, but then people are always really excited to share that they're half Irish or half Scottish, but somehow they don't understand the concept of immigration. A couple of things that I wanted to go ahead and note. It's the year 2000. On average, we get 1 million legal immigrants per year in this country. On top of that, 600,000 of those people end up changing status. What that means is that they eventually apply for longer visas, or at some point they will go ahead and gain citizenship. We still on average get about 11 million illegal immigrants in this country. This is a very concerning issue. We get 1 million people per year, again on average, that have spent years trying to move here, yet 11 million people that are just finding ways to come into this country illegally. Another thing that I wanted to address is the stereotype that every person that lives here legally is Mexican or Latino. That isn't true. However, 50% of illegal immigrants do actually come from Mexico. Another 15% of illegal immigrants comes from Central America. And then we have 14% from Asia and Africa. So while a large number does come in from Mexico, to assume that everybody is from Mexico seems very wrong to me. A lot of times when I talk to people about immigration, they have a very small-minded view about it, and they're very specific that everybody here is illegally and that everybody here is from Mexico, and that isn't true, as we have learned in this presentation. Thank you for your time.